Live from Town Square Towers at the heart of the Jersey Shore. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Get up, get out, do something. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. It is 6:08 Friday, July 1st, 70 degrees. Get up to 81 today. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310 News Talk Radio. Streaming live on the Radio Pop app and WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160. We are joined in the studio by Brian Kubiel, Toms River Town Council President and all-around great guy. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. Thanks for having me this morning.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming in. I know you're an early guy, right?
I'm up early every morning.
What time? What's the normal wake-up call for you? Or there's no you don't even do an alarm, right? You just wake up.
Every morning I wake up. Ever since my kids went into middle school, I wake up every morning at 5 a.m.
Oh. So does that mean you're like asleep by like 9:30?
Usually around 10:30.
Oh, wow. God, I hope I don't ever get older. No, I'm joking. I'm just joking around. So, Brian, why don't you give us a quick overview? So we have a very interesting kind of system here in the Toms River government because we kind of have a two-headed deal, right, between the town council and the mayor. So why don't you talk about what you kind of do day to day?
Our government is, under the Faulkner Act, is very similar to the federal government. The mayor is a strong elected mayor. He runs the day-to-day operations, and the council is basically the legislative branch of the government.
Right.
So we have to approve all of his spending and approve all the ordinances. And
So right now that makes you kind of like Speaker of the House.
Yes.
Okay, got it. All right, cool. And so during election time, if you don't endorse I'm going with a Paul Ryan thing here. I was trying to go down that road, but let's not do that. Why don't you tell us though? You weren't always in local government. I mean, you've always been kind of someone who's given back to the community and has worked hard for the community. So why don't you tell our listeners a little about that? What your background is?
And actually, my career started when I was in high school, 1974. Very early, I joined the Fire Department Explorers, which is right up the street, as a Boy Scout. And ultimately joined the Volunteer Fire Service and have served the residents of Toms River proudly as a volunteer really since 1974. Then my career took me down a different path for a little bit. I came back. One day there was an opening in the council and I put my name on it because I wanted to further help the residents the best I could. And my wife started in volunteer EMS and my son now is in volunteer EMS as well. So it's really been a family tradition for us that we're very proud of.
Yeah, and I mean that takes a special kind of person. I'm not gonna lie, right? I'm not running it. When I hear there's a fire, I'm like I turn to my wife and I'm like, yeah, let's go up to Monmouth County for dinner. What do you think? Right? Like I'm not running towards the fire, but you're the guy. Like everybody's running away, and you're like, hey, let's go help.
Early on, when I went on, there was no such thing as critical incident stress debriefing and all these things we have now. And when it first came out, it was pretty interesting. We were in Brick High School, and we're sitting there, and because we all had to attend this now critical incident stress debriefing, and auditorium is full of volunteer firemen and EMS, and the psychologist comes out, he goes, I just want to let you know you're all crazy. What are you talking about? He goes, think about this. The fire alarm goes off, or there's a fire, everybody's going out, and you guys are running in. Right. There's something wrong with you.
Right. Right. I mean, what I see is like I think when I watch like a superhero movie, like you see Superman running towards the catastrophe while everybody else is running away. Except we could take Superman out and just put you in, and that would be you running towards without the cool suit and everything.
I got to tell you, for the over 200 volunteers that serve this town, I'm very proud of them. Our boards of fire commissioners provide us the best training they can provide us. So that way, everything, hopefully nothing happens, but they're really committed to us. They're really committed to the residents of town, and they do a phenomenal job.
Cool. All right, so let's talk about some of the things going on around town. And it's been kind of a nice run of some positive news, which we like.
Yes.
Right. So yesterday, you got a note from the Army Corps of Engineers.
Yes, we actually received a final word yesterday for the Army Corps of Engineers that they have actually received all of the easements they need, and they're going to proceed very shortly with the bid process and get the bid the beach replenished. Paul Shives, our township administrator, was down on the island last week, and they finished sections of the island. And quite frankly, he came back and said it's absolutely beautiful. So we'll have a pretty good beachfront very shortly. That way, hopefully, everybody that's not rebuilt in the community for insurance purposes, or they want to make sure they're not going to get flooded again, a lot of the community will come back.
Right. Well, that's great. And I know we're still, you kind of mentioned it, so I kind of have to go down that road a little bit. I know we're still fighting for ratables, right? Still recovering. Many people, unfortunately, I think have kind of still are of the belief that, we're back, we're good, because maybe their lives are back, but there's still so many that are negatively impacted that haven't been made whole again, and this is one step, in the right direction as we continue the recovery.
Well, it's absolutely a really good step for us because, especially the Barrier Island, you're going to put a lot of money into a home, and because it's your second home, you're not eligible for FEMA funding or reimbursement. This is their insurance policy. If I invest this money, I know not that nothing's going to happen, but at least we've done everything we can to get the beach replenished and provide them that insurance policy that, their house isn't going to get flooded again.
Right. And I will say also, just to kind of tie that up, you guys have done a great job, both you and the mayor and, everybody in kind of the township has done a really great job of holding the line on our taxes, despite the obstacles that have been put in front, right?
Yeah. Besides the cost of the storm, when you lose all those tax ratables, it's a challenge, and it's been a challenge. But with cooperation of the mayor and the council, administration, our CFO Chris Manolio has done a phenomenal job. Looking at expenses, watching every penny we spend, and look at the value of what we're doing to see if it's really worth it. And it's a balance because you don't want to take away things that really better the town in the interim while we're rebuilding. And it's been a struggle, but we got about another, I would say, 2 to 3 years until everything's back in order, and we're working hard and trying to keep it balanced.
Right. Every day. So very cool. So, I want to talk because we're coming up against a break now. But I want to talk when we get back. We got another kind of injection of good news. We see those lists come out all the time, and those lists usually come out because they're on the patch. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it. And because they want to say Tom's River has the highest rate of blah, blah, blah. And then it's usually something that's crazy. And then you look at the fine print and you're like, oh, well, that's because they rated it that way. We got some good news this week. Let's talk about that when we get back. Brian Kubiel, Town Council President, Tom's River. Back after this.
Stay tuned for Preferred Company with Joel Markell and Marianne Levy at 8. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin continues next. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Now, back to Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310 and WOBMAM.com.
All right, welcome back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. We are here with Town Council President Brian Kubiel from Tom's River, which is a township I'm fairly familiar with. So tell me, so we ended up on a list again this week, but it was a good thing. So what was that all about?
We actually got word that we were rated number 18, safest city to raise your kids, which is an independent audit. They take crime data from the FBI and other entities, and it was pretty exciting to see that we rated number 18.
Yeah, and I like the fact that we're ahead of Marlboro, because anytime I'm like, yeah, good. See, so we don't Marlboro, Manalapan, who cares about those areas? This is Tom's River, right? So they made note of the fact that the health department posts about safety topics like backyard barbecuing safety, beach closures, and asthma control, and how great the health department is, and then also the town's low crime record, etc. So really great job, and it's nice to see us on the positive end. We're right below Orem, Utah, which, it's pretty safe in Utah.
What goes on in Utah?
I know, seriously. There's nothing to see in you. I mean, come on, it's all Mormons, right? Anyway, all right. So moving right along. Tell us a little bit about this Huddy Park deal, because that's exciting. That we're taking this historic park and finally giving it the facelift that it deserves.
Honey Park is interesting. We're actually redoing Honey Park now. It's been there for a long time, as long as I can remember from my childhood. Honey Park has been there. We're redoing Honey Park now, and part of the project, one of our residents came to us and asked us, would we consider extending it to the sidewalks and stuff to South Toms River, so they go through Mathis Park there and make it a nice river walk, and then that way you could walk from the South Toms River all the way down past the county boatyard and all the other exciting things that are on the end of Water Street. And we were kind of caught surprised at the meeting, but day after the meeting we met, and for our piece, it's about the 275 feet of sidewalk that we have to do. So we're committed to trying to do that as a change order to this project. So we complete our piece. The mayor is and I are signing a letter to the mayor of South Toms River, and the freeholders are on board. The freeholders are going to take care of their piece down. So hopefully in a short time, as long as we get the cooperation from the DOT with the New Jersey right-of-ways and where the sidewalk has to go, you'll have a pretty nice river walk all the way through South Toms River, down by Millie Arts and down to the county. It'll be nice.
That's going to be beautiful. That's really great. And so listen, and Honey Park is a beautiful park, and certainly we love having we had a great event there last year. We had Art in the Park there. I know that we had to move it this year because Art in the Park would have been art in the middle of construction. So we decided instead we're going to make it art on the deck.
Well, we apologize, but sometimes we have to do these things.
Listen, I'm okay. It's all for the greater good, and instead we're going to do Art in the Park and the parking deck. I mean, so it'll be art while you park. Something like that. I don't know.
It'll all work out.
I'm sure it'll all work out. Hey, so, and I don't know if you really know the true ramifications yet of this. I'm probably putting you on the spot, but it obviously Chris Christie yesterday said that all state road work is going to be buttoned up and put away as of midnight on Saturday, right? Because the Transportation Trust Fund now will officially have run dry. It's no longer being funded. Senate didn't act on any of the gas tax bills, so I guess Chris Christie is taking his pail and his ball, and he's going to play in somebody else's yard. And so, is that going to have an impact on any of the roads here in this area?
Well, we have Route 9, we have Route 37, which is a state highway. We're not sure at this point, what's going to happen, but we've been arguing for a long time because all the state aid we receive is because we're considered part of the North Jersey highway funding piece of that. And, when you're trying to deal with Route 17 and Route 3 to New Jersey Turnpike, how much money is really, coming to South Jersey? And that's been a bone of a contention for us for a long time now. But we'll continue to fight for our fair share, or whatever that fair share of the big pie may be. And we'll continue to try to improve every highway we can.
Are you saying that Toms River and Ocean County may at times be treated like a red-headed stepchild? I find that hard to believe.
No, I do, because sometimes I think that Toms River is just a little dot on the map sometimes, but we try to make our voice known as loud as we can.
Right, absolutely. I mean, it's not like we haven't gotten completely fair treatment when it comes to the rail lines and other forms of transportation. So I don't.
we talked about it, and Councilman Hill is always on this because of Route 70 and all the other things. And you look at statistics, and a little over 80% of the residents in Ocean County have to travel outside the county to work. And when you look at those numbers, and you start to wonder. You talk about DEP, and they're saying, we got to have all this clean air and stuff, but we're not getting light rail. We don't really have a mass transit system per se to get us, to pieces of even Monmouth County to work.
Sure.
And highways are important to us. And
absolutely. So when we come back, let's talk about something we are going to have, which is a new attraction at Bailey Park, which is coming soon. So we'll talk about that. We are here with Toms River Town Council President Brian Kubiel, and it's Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. We'll be back after this.
The news is next. Live from the WOBM Newsroom, the Town Square, New Jersey News Network, and Fox News Radio. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Live from the Jersey Shore to the world. Get up, get out, do something. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Take the show wherever you go. Download the free Radio Pup app for your smartphone or tablet. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. 6:33 Friday, July 1st, 70 degrees, get up to 81 today. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310 News Talk Radio. Streaming live on the Radio Pop-Up and WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160 to join the conversation. We are joined in studio by Town Council President Brian Kubiel. And we're talking about all the cool, great things happening here in Toms River. And it's July. Do you have July 4th plans? I mean, are you a big fireworks guy?
I go to the celebration, but I usually try to stay away from all the fray because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, so like as a fire guy, are you like, do you see fireworks and you're like, oh my God, this is bad news?
No, well, you sit there and you just hope nobody gets hurt doing it and stay safe. And years ago when originally it was taken off the river, they tried it at the Ocean County Mall. Yeah, back then it was a little hairy, but now that Beachwood Borough does it from the beach, and it's a good show. But we all know fireworks are illegal, but if you do it, please stay safe.
That's right.
Don't hurt yourself.
That's right. And that was with your fire hat on, right?
Yeah.
And, well, although with your town council hat on, you probably want people to stay safe too.
Absolutely. And I'm sure the EMS folks want to, not answer calls, enjoy time with their family as well.
That's right. So we talk a lot on this show about the fact that we have the second largest senior citizen population in the country outside of Dade County, Florida. Right, and we also talk a lot about the Joint Base and the economic impact it has, and the employment numbers around the Joint Base, and we also talk about the fact that we have the largest veteran population in the country here in Ocean County, and so we are in the midst of working through a project right now around and for our veterans. Why don't you tell folks a little about that?
Well, first off, I want to thank all the veterans for basically volunteering to keep us safe, and some gave all gave some, and in my short term on council, I had to go to, because of the conflicts that are going on in Iraq and Afghanistan, had to go to some of our military funerals of residents at Toms River, and it's for the families, it's very heart-wrenching, but again, I want to thank them for defending our freedom through the Grunin Foundation, and thank you and your dad and your mom for doing it. We're Brian Hanlon, the sculptor, designed a wonderful veterans park, and originally we kind of thought with the softball fields, maybe Veterans Park would be good, but we don't have enough land. So at the corner of Bay Avenue and North Bay Avenue, we're in the process now of going through all the DEP stuff, but that will be a wonderful tribute to all the veterans of our nation.
Right. So right in front of Bailey Park, right where the soccer fields are, and right near the tennis courts. But if you were pulling into Bailey Park on the left-hand side, you see this tremendous open field, and we are working on putting what will be one of the really most, I think, one of the most remarkable veterans tribute presentations in our country. And it's going to be fantastic. Absolutely,
and the designer did a wonderful job in putting it all together and recognize all that served this country.
Right.
And it's important because what people don't know, a good friend of mine is a Vietnam vet. We have the Vietnam Memorial at the PNC Art Center in Homedale, and what they don't know is the veterans themselves have to maintain that.
Yeah.
So every year, and my father served in Korea, my stepfather served in World War II, and I never served, and it's probably one of my biggest regrets. But a friend of mine is a Vietnam vet. Every April, we go up there before the season starts, and I help them clean up the memorial from all the concerts and keep it together. And it's pretty sad that the veterans themselves have to take care of that. And when the Grunin Foundation came to us, I thought it's a wonderful idea to recognize all that served and give them the honor that they rightfully deserve.
Right. And we'll be together maintaining it as a foundation and as a township, just like we do with the Welcome to Ocean County on Route 37. So exciting project, more to come on that. And we hope really to kind of break ground in the next couple months, and then we hope to unveil, early next year as we as we come into some. We have some pretty big anniversaries coming up next year, right? What do we have next year here in Toms River?
Next year, we're actually celebrating 250 years as a township.
Wow.
Wow. And our township historian, who's also the township clerk and teaches history at the colleges, is all over that, making sure that we do the right thing and make sure we recognize that as well.
Wow, 250 years. That's crazy. We've come so far when we look back at where we started. Yeah. Well, which I barely remember.
No, I don't remember any of it. I don't know anybody that could honestly tell us what happened except Mark.
When old Thomas Luker came across the whatever Huddy Park and blah blah blah. Okay, listen, it's time for us to hand you the Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin Magic Wand.
Whatever we want to talk about, we could.
It's your ability to, without having to get the rest of town council's approval, or the mayor, or the governor, or the president, you can just make an impact, do something special, make a change. Brian Kubiel, what are you doing with that magic wand?
What we're really trying to do is my biggest thing is right now is we want to restore our community, want to maintain a safe place for our kids, work every day with the governing body as hard as we can to ensure that our town is safe. Work with foundations, such as the Grunin Foundation. I also sit on the board of the ARC. My niece has special needs, and that's a special place in my heart. They're our most vulnerable kids, and I go to the board meetings and listen to some things that go on, and they're our most vulnerable population. I sit on the board of CASA, try to help those kids. And when I was interviewed for that, I said to Vicki Weiss at the time, if I can help one kid, just one kid, be successful in his life, it would be very rewarding to me, and that's important. It's important that we help our kids, and because really they're our future leaders. Jeremy, as we get older, we're looking closer and closer to retirement. They're the people that follow us, and are going to be making the decisions and do the things we're doing now. And if we can get one of those children or the children in high school to be successful, that's very rewarding to me.
Right. Listen, that's great. I don't know about you, but I believe the children are our future.
Absolutely.
Teach them well and let them lead the way.
I when Terry and I became parents, and the best thing is you get into it, you get out of it what you put into it, and it's a lot of work. Children are a lot of work, and if you put the time into it, it's very rewarding at the end. My son is now 21. My daughter will be 20 this month. And to see them start flourishing in their careers is very rewarding. That's
great. Well, listen, and not trying to blow smoke, but Brian, you've been somebody that has given back to the community. It's really great. It's great to see folks in, as our elected officials who aren't our elected officials just because it was convenient or because they're looking to hop to the next thing or climb up some ladder, but rather they're folks that have given back to the community and been servants of the people for really their whole lives. And those are, to me, have been the most effective leaders that we can have, because you understand what it takes to get things done here in Toms River and in Ocean County. And you and the rest of the council are doing that every day. So thank you so much for everything you do.
You're very welcome. And to the residents, thanks for your support. And by all means, anything we can do, just call Town Hall and we'll see if we can help you. As long as it's in the parameters of government that we can do, we'll do the best we can to resolve it.
That's right. Brian Kubiel, Toms River Town Council President, thank you so much for joining us. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin, back after this.